Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be sharing easy ways to learn a new language for free and at home. So fun fact, my first YouTube video ever, which I posted a couple months ago, maybe 9 months ago or something, and it showed all of the free ways to learn a language with resources and apps and all that stuff. So if you're interested in watching that, then I will put it in the description. But language learning is one of my favorite hobbies, passions, whatever, and it's kind of weird that I only have one video so far about that, but it's okay because we're making a new one today. So quick disclaimer, this video isn't meant to trick you into thinking that this is a quick cheat sheet way to learn a language, and if you only follow these tips then you will be fluent. It's not meant to be that at all. These are just meant to help you absorb the language, practice the language, and immerse yourself in the language that can help you achieve your learning language goals quicker. So just wanted to put that out there because learning a language does take a lot of discipline and consistency, but they're pretty much all fun ways to learn a language that can help you learn it even if you don't even feel like studying, but it's so ingrained into your routine and the things that you do that it's oh, I didn't even realize I'm reading or speaking another language right now. So the first thing is to watch YouTube videos, TV shows, movies, and stuff like that in your target language. You can definitely start off first with watching a TV show or movie or something like that in a show that you already know, so that you don't have to worry about learning new words, grammar structures, and all that stuff and following the plot at the same time. It can be kind of overwhelming. So I think it would be cool to start with a show that you already know what's going on and watching it in your target language, and then eventually once you kind of get the gist of the flow and how and getting used to absorbing the language, then you can switch to watching a whole new show. You can start with subtitles in your native language, but then try not to hold on to that too much because watching it in your target language would be ideal, and then after that without subtitles at all. But yeah, that's what I would say for TV shows and movies. And with YouTube channels, I would find YouTubers that are creating the things you already like. So if you like lifestyle videos, if you like technology, unboxing videos or something like that, watch it in your target language because they're going to be already talking about things that you are already interested in, and you can learn all this vocabulary and things that are related to something that you would probably be speaking about anyways. So I would definitely do that. The thing that I'm trying to get across with all these tips is if you don't want to necessarily sit down and learn, open a textbook, work out problems, or try to learn a grammar section or something like that, then just doing things that already bring you joy, and it's just okay, I'm just doing something I already like doing, but in my target language. So, and similar to that, I would also say follow people on social media who speak your target language. You can watch TikToks in your target language. You can go on Instagram, read captions, memes, and everything in your target language. And that is really important because they're not going to be speaking textbook Spanish or textbook whatever language you're trying to learn. It's going to be in everyday speech. It's going to be in slang, and hopefully it can help you learn how people speak. The YouTubers that you found that you like in your target language, you can follow them on Instagram. So then it's okay, I don't have to now look for someone separate to follow when I already know I like this person. Something that's also cool is that I remember I learned so much text, I don't know, text slang while doing this. You know how in English there's LOL or TBH or something like that. I found in my target language different ways to text and say things that way, and it kind of makes me feel a little bit of a native. I'm oh wow, I feel cool. I don't know how to say it. I don't know, I feel I'm in with the natives. I know what that means, and it's kind of cool. Then also, I would say if you are into reading books, you can read a book in your target language. And similarly to TV shows, you can start with a book that you already know you like and you know what the plot is, and then you can just strictly focus on absorbing the language and learning it. Or not, you can just get a brand new book or a book that you want to read and get it in your target language. It might be a little bit more for intermediate advanced learners, just because if you're a beginner, it would be kind of difficult and could take a long time and get really discouraging to go through a book and you don't know what 95% of the book is. So the whole point of this is to make language learning easy. You're gonna get to points where you're gonna have to work through the struggle, but with all these tips, hopefully there's something that you can just do and not have to think so much about, help reinforce the things that you already know and to absorb and practice. So yeah, you can read books in your target language, or you can also read news articles. I think that's kind of fun. I use Google News on my phone not very often, but it's there when I'm like, shoot, I really need to like read something and I don't feel like scrolling on Instagram or something like that. Then I'll try to find a news article, something that I think is interesting that I could actually like learn about and I can talk about. Then I would say make new friends. In my last video I mentioned this, but I like to use Tandem, and that's how I make new friends that speak my target language natively. And it's just nice because so many times I'm just like responding to text, we're just talking about like literally anything, but I'm speaking it in my target language. I remember it came to the point where I was like scrolling and I'm like, dang, I'm really speaking in another language. And it's kind of cool. Like the more you do it, the more natural it becomes, and you're not even thinking like, oh, like I'm speaking in another language because I'm just so used to talking to my friend. Like I'm just talking to my friend. Same thing, you can call them, you can FaceTime them. They also have Hello Talk, but I use Tandem primarily, and you can use that to just make friends, and then it's like what you do. Even if you don't spend the whole day like studying your language, if you're just talking to your friend, like there you go, like that's immersion. This is something that I thought was kind of cool for me. Was I remember in school sometimes I would be taking notes, and if I found a word in Spanish, because that's my second language, if I found a word in Spanish that was shorter and easier to like write out than English, I would just type it in Spanish. And I didn't do it very often just because when I'm taking notes, I'm not trying to practice my languages at the same time when I'm in school. But a way you can implement this is journal in your target language, write reminders and to-do lists, just like quick things you need to write really quickly. Try doing it in your target language, because then it's just like practicing and trying to make it become more normal and more part of your life when you use it more. Even if there's no one around you, it doesn't matter. Like if you're like, oh, I forgot, I need to go grocery shopping today, put that on your to-do list in your target language, and then it's right there. So the next thing is something that I have not done and I don't think I will do, but it's to change your phone in your target language. And I think it's a great tip, like something that will really like force you to use that language and read it every day because you use your phone every day. But the reason that and this is the only reason I'm deciding not to do it, is because of settings. I have this fear that like I'll change it and then I will try to like find something that I've never done before in settings, and it'll be really complicated for me to find out like how to like undo something or how to do something, and that kind of stresses me out because I don't know why, like I like as if my phone's gonna like shut down or break or something if I do it. But like I know eventually I will, because I feel like I'm gonna get to a point where I can understand everything easily. But like it's just something about those settings that I'm like, but what if I really need to like do something and I'm like, I don't know what these words mean. So that's just something I gotta get over, but I think it's very beneficial to do. I just haven't done it yet. Then I would say find music in your target language and then learn the lyrics. It's like so easy to find a song that you like and then learn the lyrics and then play it and then sing it, and then there you go. Learn what they mean, and then you can also incorporate that into your speech. It's just like a great way. Like even if you don't feel like doing all the work and translate, even just like riding in the car and passively listening to it. A lot of times I have the Spanish station on my radio when I'm just driving. Like in the beginning, I didn't really know a lot of what was being said, but now like I know what's going on. I'm familiar with all the songs that they play, because a lot of times radio stations just play the same songs on repeat. So I feel like that's a great way to learn a new language, is to just listen to music. And then the last thing would be just speak to yourself in your target language. I know you speak to yourself. I know you talk to yourself when you're alone. So why not just do it in Spanish? Like think of a question that like is a very common question that could happen, and try to switch it up every day. Because I remember in the beginning I would just ask myself the same questions, and I got really good at like responding to it because I was saying the same thing over and over again. But try to like ask yourself a new question every day, and then just talk about it for a minute or 2 minutes and see what happens. A lot of time you'll find a word that you don't know what it means in your target language, and then you just Google it and find out, and then you have a new vocab word. It's like great because if you're trying to find the word, then you know you use it every day. And the thing that I hated about when you would learn a new language in school is that you would learn so many words that are not relevant and you don't use every day. So learning a language can be very personal and personalized, so just try to find words that revolve around your life, because most likely you're not going to be talking about things that you have no idea what are. Same thing in your native language. If you're to ask me about like cryptocurrency, And like, what the heck? Like, I wouldn't know what to talk about. I don't know what these words mean. Same thing with like the stock market. I can't tell you anything about the stock market in English. So like, why am I going to try to find stock market terms in Spanish when I don't even know it? But that doesn't mean I'm not fluent in English because I don't know these words in English, you know what I mean? So yeah, those are all the tips that I have for today. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like videos like this. And if you haven't already, you can watch my last language learning video, and it was all about the best free resources that you can use while learning a language. And yeah, leave a comment down below if you have any video requests, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.